A lot of people look at us as robots or just out doing a job, but everything we see and do affects us just like it does everybody else.
A lot of problems with first responders and veterans is that now we're in a battlefield that's very different.
I've lost more friends to suicide than I did in combat, and it really hurts.
When you push the human envelope to those maximum extents, physically, psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually, and then you pull that plug, nothing prepares you for the silence. Nothing prepares you for that void.
You can't come that close to death without it having some effect on you.
I'll never forget my wife telling me, you know, you're not the same Brett that I married.
What War Horses does is it puts you in that environment to, in essence, look in the mirror. But that mirror is that horse. And that horse is going to tell you where you're at.
You got to relax. You got to calm down. You got to slow your mind down and just think about this one thing, controlling that horse.
The first thing we do before we get on a horse, we breathe. Let go of everything. Let go of everything in your head. If I don't let go of everything, I cannot be present with the horse.
It's magic. I just started crying. It was the first time in my life that I literally let everything go.
Compassion, generosity, love, all of these things trickle back into what it is to be a human being.
It's completely changed me.
All the confidence I had lost, it started coming back working with these horses. They've given me my life back.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots. Oh, yeah! What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. My name is Kaz. This is WTF Nation Radio and Friday Night Freedom. We're very, very glad to have everybody here. Up above my shoulder right there is the Pookie. What's going on, man?
I'm same old, man.
Same old? It's just everything is just the same?
No, everything gets more clowny every day.
Oh gosh, it's almost I don't know, man. And I read Twitter and they're like, "Hey, man, is everybody feeling like they're being gaslighted for the last year?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's been like this is like year 5." I can't stand it. I really can't stand it. I mean, but I always go back to pick a better country. You can't. You just can't. But this is such a shit show, and oh man, this is our country. This is my country. It's just things have gotten, and I don't like sounding like an old man. I'm an old man, but I hate sounding like an old man. But back in my day. But I think every generation can go back and just go, when I was younger, things were different. I mean, society changes, people change. Things are a lot different for like the 40s when my parents were kids to now, and now they're just fucking bitter. My dad couldn't care less because he's kind of like me, or I'm like my dad. We're very, very, very alike. We're just like, let everybody else do their shit. This is a shit show, but I'm going to do me, and I'm going to take care of me and mine. My mom watches Fox News and gets stomach ulcers and loses sleep because of this shit. I'm like, Mom, just turn that crap off. Turn it off.
That's like my grandmother. She used to do that. God bless her soul, but she did that before she passed away. She would start watching the news and get all heated and like just stop. It was
kind of stressful. I mean, I was up with my parents over Christmas, And there's always, we're always doing things just as a family, but the TV is always on and it's always Fox News or some kind of news thing. And then like after dinner, we'll chill out with some more news. And then my mom's like, hey, you want to watch a movie? And then we'll watch a movie, and I'm like, seriously, put the movies on 24/7 and just maybe take a break for some news once a day just to see what the headlines are, and then turn that crap off. Ever since I turned off mainstream media, it doesn't matter what the media is, anything that would cause you to that makes you consume it, like sit down and actually spend time and invest time into listening and understanding. As soon as I cut that out of my life, I think things got a lot easier for me. I get a lot less stress. I hate it.
I quit on Facebook pretty much. Like it's just driving me nuts. And I do the TikTok thing, because it's entertaining to me.
That's news for millennials.
Yeah, I filter pretty much like if you bringing me crap right now, I just want to watch people paint miniatures and building decks and like weird stuff like that. And that's where I'm at with it.
So we are actually recording. We're live on several different platforms, and we're live on WTF Nation Radio because this guy remembered to connect to the server.
Oh, you pushed the red button.
I pushed the correct button. Yes. Yeah, everybody. Welcome, everybody. I mean, we got Jay Williams is there in the YouTube's chat, which we don't get a whole lot of traffic over there. I don't know. I do know why. I mean, we don't really spend we spend a lot of time doing this, and we broadcast up to on several different platforms. Our main platform is Facebook, but it is what it is. I guess that is our medium, and that's I guess what we pay the most attention to. But if you are on any of our platforms, either of the Facebooks, if you're on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, I can see your comments. So, and I will respond if I see it, because the chats kind of tend to roll really rapidly. But yeah, holy crap. That's Jay ready. What's up, brother? So here we are on a Friday night. And I really don't know what to do. Some people will say, hey, let's watch the Olympics. I haven't watched any of the Olympics.
I was watching curling earlier today.
I had a conversation with one of my younger engineers. He is an engineer who's he works for a different company. He's kind of liaising his company's equipment to us. He's like our tech rep for all of his stuff. And he's from Iowa. And they do curling up there, and it's like a normal thing. It's not an abnormal thing. Curling in Texas is abnormal. Curling in Iowa is obviously, apparently normal. Anyway, he's loving the Olympics, and he said he watched like 2 hours of the round robin curling competitions the other day. He's just like, it's so much fun. They had curling teams in high school. I had a friend of mine in elementary school whose dad owned a club. I guess that's a club. It was a bar that had a curling lanes in it, and it was cool. And that's how I learned how to do curling.
I always figured it was like kind of like one of those things where like a bunch of like dudes at a bar or like, hey, let's go like throw some stones across some ice.
Right. I mean, I'll bet you I can get mine closer, and that's how it probably started. Hey, before we get started with this show, I got some really exciting housekeeping stuff. So on the 22nd, our next guest on the 22nd is going to be Tito Ortiz. You may have heard of him. Arguably one of the most popular fighters in professional mixed martial arts. The Huntington Beach Bad Boy is going to be on the show on Tuesday. Tito Ortiz will be joining the Pop Culture Warrior and Radar. And then Mark Liebman is going to be joining us on Friday the 25th. Mark's going to be returning to the WTF Nation to talk about his latest book called Failure to Fire, set to be released on Crossroads Press on February 22nd, 2022. And it's his second novel in a series which he calls the Derek Ulmer Counterterrorism series. And I don't tell Mom this, but I forgot to check my email to see if there's any new housekeeping stuff. Did you happen to read that? I mean, dude, I don't know if I have any.
I haven't seen anything.
So those are our 2 upcoming shows. Unfortunately, we didn't have any Pop Culture Warrior this week because the Pop Culture Warrior was out doing things and stuff. So anyway, back to the Olympics. I haven't watched any of it. I don't really. I'm paying attention to the medal count. It's in China. It's just funny because we're all kind of going through a pandemic that is as a result of China, and we're all testing for the coof with test kits that are made in China, and we're wearing masks that are made in China, and we have Olympics that are happening in China.
China.
So anyway, we got I got a little bit of news about this. So welcome to the Chinese Olympics. I guess it's the Hunger Games. Like one of the athletes called it. This is the Hunger Games. So this photo of that plate of food there. I mean, if anybody's eaten in a chow hall, I mean, that's nothing. That actually looks pretty small, just as far as portion sizes and stuff. And the food actually doesn't look bad. But a photo of a plate of food was sent out to social media by a Russian biathlete, Valeria Vasnetsova, who says that there's so little appetizing food in the Chinese COVID gulag that her bones are sticking out. And now that doesn't take much for athletes, especially biathletes or any real athlete who's not just a beefcake. You're going to lose a few pounds, and we can probably already see your ribs. But anyway, she says, my stomach hurts. I'm very pale, and I have huge black circles under my eyes, complained the biathlete. Those symptoms aren't from COVID. They're from the disgusting food fed to us athletes suffering in isolated quarantine.
Get over it.
After testing positive or generating an unclear or an unsubstantiated result on their daily PCR tests. While they're supposed to be getting better, Vasnetsova, who wasn't sick at all, complains that she's getting worse physically. She goes, I want all this to end. I cry every day. I'm very, very tired, probably from boredom. Okay, if you're a world-class athlete, you're going to have to make some sacrifices. This is just one of those things. Sorry. And then this is China. So, China.
I bring the question. I wonder what the Chinese athletes are eating.
Yeah, that's a
They're
decent.
Probably eating way better than that.
At least she's not a Karen going, I want to talk to the manager. Next thing you know, she's in some kind of prison somewhere. Some of the athletes suspect that the food is meant to sabotage opposing athletes. So she did a little detective. What? Go say it again.
That's what I was going at. I was like, I bet that's some sort of sabotage at that point.
So Kanistova did a little bit of detective work and discovered that others in isolated accommodations were getting better food than the athletes in the COVID hotels. Even her team doctor, who has also tested positive, was living 2 floors below her, but he had fresh fruit, salad, prawns, and broccoli. Our other athletes reported to have been stuck in isolation in the Koof hotels are American ice skater Vincent Zhou, Zhou, Austrian snowboarder Sabine Schlafman, and Finnish hockey player Marko Antila. The head of Finland's ice hockey team says that China is violating Antilla's human rights by keeping him in isolation while his tests are in the clear. He hasn't tested positive. He's just there. 32 athletes are in COVID isolation, which has left them distraught. And these are people who have worked toward an event for much of their life and who face the possibility of missing competitions after years and years of training and sacrifice. Nearly 400 people have been in and out of the Chinese Koof quarantine hotels. China allows isolated people to get sprung after 2 consecutive negative PCR tests taken taken 24 hours apart. So there needs to be a 24-hour separation of 2 negative tests in order to get out of the little gulag there. Little bit strict, but I don't know if their tests are accurate. If their tests are accurate, that's one thing. But they've got a bunch of people that are testing that have an inconclusive result. When I was in Canada a couple weeks ago, if you have an inconclusive result, you have to go back. You can't test anymore that day. You have to test the next day. At least your next test has to be at least separated by 24 hours. So I don't know. Those are the rules, man. And it's not like they're springing this. It's not like they're saying, okay, these are the rules now. It's like these were published.
I mean, I'm looking at that plate of food in the top corner there, and I'm thinking to myself, it's like, I've had worse in the field. You know,
exactly. I think everybody listening to the show has. So look at that. Look at that tray of food. That left stuff kind of looks like it could be chili. Then to the right of that is potatoes. To the right of that is I have no fucking idea.
Looks like a chicken or like a.
It looks like a Cornish hen. It looks like a Cornish hen, but I have no idea what that is. When you zoom in on it, and I zoomed in on it, it's not poultry. It's not meat-ish. It's something. It's something. Of course, there's pasta over the lower left, and then probably cat in the lower right.
I was about to say something. I was like, that's probably dog, but
Nubia Christina Simmons, hello from Fort Hood, she says. Doesn't that food look great? You can probably get that at I was going to say you can get that at the 6 Cav DFAC, but I don't think 6 Cav doesn't exist anymore.
I was like, look, going back in my Army days, some of the food that I ate at the DFAC, that actually looks appetizing. So
it doesn't look good, but let's just say as an athlete from a Western society, we have a surplus of a lot of food. So you get to pick and choose, and you have lots of quantities of everything. You don't have those choices in China. It's not like it's not like someone said, "Hey, you're going to be in the Olympics." Okay, great. And then all of a sudden you arrive and surprise, you're in China. No, this has been in the books for a while. You knew you were going to China. So I don't know. I feel bad because all of these athletes are getting fed like either remotely through robots. I mean, they got like robots that bring food and stuff to the rooms, or if a human brings you stuff and things to your room, they're dressed like that dude in the upper right hand corner, just all space suited out and stuff. But I don't know if it's a show thing or I don't know. I have no idea. So the medal count, as of just before the show, I did a little tally. Germany is leading the medal count, 7 golds, 4 silvers, and no bronzes. Norway 635. I'm just going to do this in the order of gold, silver, and bronze. Norway is 635. Netherlands is 541. Sweden 522. Austria 464. USA 451. I don't know what all these medals are in. I have no. I really have invested zero time in watching any of this stuff. I'm guessing much of it is like snowboard stuff.
It's I'm looking right now. U.S. is skating, single skating, aerials, which I guess is when they jump the ramp, skiing.
It's where they jump and then they do tricks.
And snowboarding. So yeah.
Okay.
The U.S. has,
and it's really no surprise to me that all of the countries that are doing extremely well are
the winter countries.
I mean, Germany, Norway, Netherlands, Sweden, Austria, Italy, and Japan. I'm not sure how much of a winter
sports. It's cold when you go up north. but I mean, it is actually a cool
All I
country.
can see is he's just like, all right, everyone get on Mount Fuji. We're doing snowboarding today. I don't know. I don't know what kind of I mean, dude, they're volcanic islands, so how high can they be? I mean, you start from sea level. You'd have to go up at least 5,000-6,000 feet to have a decent winter snowpack.
Canada's not up.
Holy crap, Tom Telecky, the Catoosa snack bar at Humphreys was the shit. Hell yes.
That.
Dude. Oh my gosh. I love the Catoosa snack bar. And we had the Beach Hut Cafe. I have no idea if it's there. I was in 501st Aviation. It was like right next to our barracks, like 20 steps away, stumbling distance for sure. So what do you think the medal? You know what? Russia's not allowed to participate in this Olympics, but they have a contingent called ROC. And I didn't realize that until I'm like, I was looking at the medal count last night and today. I'm like, what the hell is Republic of China? Republic of what? And then I looked it up, and it's Russia, but it's called the Russian Olympic Committee.
Yeah,
I think, is that it? The Russian Olympic Committee is what it's called.
I think that's what it stands for. I'm looking at the actual Olympics webpage right now. I'm looking at the ROC, and I mean, the medals. I think they got 2 gold so far. But
At first, I was like, Republic of Congo is kicking that ass. That would almost be
bobsledding
exactly.
thing,
I was like, that would be more exciting than the Jamaican bobsled team. We have a bunch of Republic of Congo athletes kicking ass in the Winter Olympics.
How long is this supposed to go on for? I mean, I'm not really a big Olympics fan, but
I don't know when it wraps up. Look up closing ceremonies.
Oh, it goes to the 20th of February.
So about the end of the month.
Yeah. No, I was watching the women's curling team today, and they were doing really good against China. So we'll see how that works out.
There's a lot of folks out there saying that the judges are biased against China. I'm like, dude, you're in China. You're your home team. But the Olympic Committee does have a very wide array of judges there that are extremely qualified. My ex-father-in-law used to be a coach, a soccer, not a coach. He was an official, a soccer official. And he was offered the Olympics, I think, when they came to Atlanta. And he's like, hell no. He goes, I don't want to do that. And I asked him why. And he goes, once you do an Olympics event, that's like the pinnacle of your career. He goes, I don't want to stop refereeing. So I passed it up. I let other people take it. I'm like, okay, that's fair enough. So that's our exciting and riveting Beijing 2022 Olympic update. No copy. I don't know if is that zigzag hooty hoo there, like a copyright thing. I don't mean to infringe on anybody. I'm just kind of reporting the news here.
But no,
it's okay.
Every year is different.
So there was a video like earlier in the week. It may have been last week. It could have been earlier in this week. But someone saying, "Hey, does anybody know what this stuff is in the sky?" And this is the video that came to get the most attention. I think it was in Mexico, but it was just a bunch of is this space junk? I saw it on Boone Cutler's Facebook page. And what do you think of this? What do you think it is? And I looked at it. I'm like, it's probably space junk falling to Earth, or just maybe it's an asteroid, not an asteroid, a meteorite. But I read a little bit further into it, and there was a solar storm, a geomagnetic storm that hit, and dude, it took out 40 fucking satellites from Elon Musk's SpaceX, the Starlink.
Yeah, well, I read the science behind that. It's freaking crazy. I didn't realize that like when those geostorms hit the Earth, the atmosphere actually like stretches out because of the magnetic.
Yeah, it does. The
whatever.
magnetosphere.
Yeah, and it just because they're low orbit satellites, they caught like drag from the actual atmosphere, like catching them, and it brought them down. That's like one launch worth of Starlink satellites got took out. And,
yep, all but 9. I think they launched 49 satellites. 40 of them are down. So that's one or more of them. I have no idea how big their satellites are. But that's it. Starlink and here's the story. Starlink lost 40 out of the 49 satellites that it launched into Earth's upper atmosphere when it got hit by a geomagnetic storm on Wednesday. The loss is said to have cost SpaceX as much as $20 million. And I'm looking at that going, probably not that much. Definitely it's a setback for Musk's revolutionary internet infrastructure plan and a blemish on SpaceX's otherwise stellar record. Preliminary analysis shows the increased drag at low altitudes prevented the satellites from leaving safe mode to begin its orbit raising maneuvers, and up to 40 of the satellites will re-enter or have already re-entered Earth's atmosphere. You know, a lot of that stuff probably came, I mean, we're 70% water here on the Earth, so a lot of us didn't see shit. The space tech company, which Musk founded 20 years ago, I had no idea that it was 20 years old.
yes.
Conducted the launch on February 3, deploying 49 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit from a Falcon 9 rocket. But the next day, a geomagnetic storm, which occurs when charged particles kicked out of the yeeted from the sun in a solar flare interact with the Earth's atmosphere. The thing is, all of that crap happened prior to their launch. That yeeting of all those particles happened prior to the launch. Had I, been in Musk's head, I would have said, hey, let's scrub this mission and just launch a week later. Let's be safe about this.
But that's chump change for him, though.
I know, and that's why I was kind of like going, $20 million probably isn't much. That's like as far as money, dollars go, that's like a tank of gas for, well, I can't say it's a tank of gas. Elon Musk probably drives a Tesla. It's probably 8 hours of charging time for Elon Musk. So these storms cause the atmosphere to warm, and the atmospheric density at our low deployment altitudes increases, SpaceX said, explaining that the higher atmospheric density increased drag on the orbiting Starlink satellites, preventing them from moving to higher altitudes. Yeah. Ursula Dalton says, powered by coal.
Yeah.
Yep. Everything is. It doesn't matter. Oh, I got a hybrid. I got me a EV. What a EV? I have an EV. What the hell powers your shit, man? That's more than likely it's coal. I get stuff in the mail all the time about, change your electric plan, and you can choose to do, like Earth Saver 2022 or, and I'm just throwing these names out there. I'm just like, dude, I don't care where it comes from. Just give me the cheapest rate.
I don't know. I saw like a local news story the other day, and I like started losing my mind. My grandfather was dying laughing because I was like, that makes absolutely no sense. But like the Pentagon's talking about like turning all tactical vehicles to electric vehicles by 2050.
Yeah, I read that. I'm like I'm going to let that story mature a little bit and figure out what the facts are. What do you think about that, man? So you got a Humvee in the middle of wherever the fuck you're doing patrols in.
Pull out the solar freaking panels to catch a charge because there's no gas anyway.
Because nobody does patrols at 3:00 in the morning, right?
Right.
We can only patrol during the daytime. Sergeant, my batteries are dead.
Oh dear Lord.
Oh man, that's horrible.
He was like, "Why are you getting so mad about it?" I was like, "It makes no sense." Mm-hmm. Solar power.
The wind is not always blowing, and the sun is not always shining. And you better have one hell of a battery pack. I mean, because all this stuff, I mean, I get advertisements all the time, and it's like, hey, we can put solar panels on your house. Hey, it'll cost you $0. I'm like, awesome.
Those are scams.
Well, I know they are. They are all scams because it doesn't do you. It does you good as long as the sun is shining. As long as there's useful sunlight to be had. But let's say it's 3 o'clock in the morning, a storm rolls through, and you lose power. Guess what? You lose power because you didn't buy the battery. And by battery, I mean something that's going to take up probably 30% of your garage. Mod Deuce actually pairs well with the Prius.
Yes.
As seen, I think I saw a Black Rifle Coffee Company commercial. They had a I think it was a Mod Deuce. It might have been just a 50 cal, not a Mod Deuce, mounted on the top of it. It was glorious. It was awesome. That thing was spitting out some brass. They went public. I saw that, and I knew that this was coming. I didn't know yesterday was the day, but the Black Rifle Coffee Company is now like a publicly traded company on the United States Stock Exchange.
I wish I would have known about that beforehand, but all about good investments. Sounds like a good investment.
I think it's around, and you can probably do a ticker symbol look up BRCC. It was at $15 yesterday. 15. I think it closed at $15.90.
Looking it up right now.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
1628 after hours.
1628. That's not bad. So yeah, we've had. I do like Black Rifle coffee. I don't have a Black Rifle coffee outlet here, so I can buy them. I do. I don't believe I've had my coffee maker, my legit drip coffee maker, out for years because I work a lot, so it's like I get up in the morning, I fire up my little K-cup thing and fire off a couple of cups of it's just the little pods and shit.
They've got a market cap of almost $1 billion.
They've got they got stuff and things. They got a lot of potential. They got a lot of sponsorships too. They got to do a lot of NASCAR stuff. Baconator says he just bought some Black Rifle coffee about 15 minutes ago. They do. Ursula says, yeah, they do mail order. Yes, they absolutely do. It's good coffee.
I had their AK-47 espresso blend or whatever it was. It was all right, and I'll say all right.
It's good, and what I think is awesome is they invest personal time into choosing the right beans, and everything. I don't know what they're doing now because they're getting a lot bigger, but they used to be. It was all small batch. If you want this flavor, great. We have the beans. We're going to do it in that flavor. We're going to roast them in that flavor, and then we're going to mail them out. I'm not sure what they're. We need to get them back on the air. I mean, I think the last time we had them on the air, we were in Colorado, and Matt Best, Evan was there. All the Black Rifle guys were there, and it was all, they were an extremely humble group doing good things, trying to do good things, and trying to make their brand awesome. So, congratulations to Black Rifle Coffee Company for going public, man. That's a big win for them.
Yeah, I'm a big Death Wish coffee guy.
That's a dangerous coffee, dude. That's got, what did we talk about before? The average caffeine content is like 13% or 8% for a cup, and Death Wish is 13 or 18%. It was, but the thing is, Death Wish is like heavy on the caffeine, but it doesn't taste like it's like a manufactured heavy caffeine. It just tastes like a regular cup of coffee, but it'll put you in the freaking hospital.
No, I wish I could share the screen I'm looking at right now. It's got 728 milligrams of caffeine in it, and it says caffeine strength dangerous
per cup per 12
12 ounce.
12 ounces.
So,
okay.
Because technically, I think a cup of coffee is actually 6 ounces. Like
A cup. A cup is 8 ounces. Like a cup, a fluid ounce.
Yeah, a cup of coffee falls different.
I've never had a 6 ounce cup of coffee, dude. We're talking 16 or 32.
Yeah, I'm drinking. When I drink my coffee, I don't drink that much coffee. So when I'm like really needing a coffee, it's like, okay, Death Wish, boom, and I get that, and I'm usually cutting the grass, cutting down trees, doing all kinds of crazy shit the rest of the day. So
you're clearing brush. You're mowing down unoccupied houses. There's a lot of caffeine in Death Wish coffee, and it'll fuck with your sleep cycle. I mean, you got to lay off that stuff, man. It's like once in a while, Death Wish is good,
no.
But that's not like a daily thing, man. You can't do that.
My daily, I don't really do coffee on a regular. I used to when I cut back. I started doing tea, like tea, and I'm a chai tea kind of guy. I like chai, like the spiced tea and stuff like that.
Ruh-roh. I think we just lost the Pookie. I have no idea what's going on. He was talking about doing the chai tea thing. I like the chai tea too. Chai tea is pretty good. I prefer coffee. If I'm going to drink tea, it's going to be probably like an Earl Grey. I like Earl Grey tea or just regular black tea. Black tea is good. It's looking like my computer decided to yeet the Pookie. And I'm really sorry for that because he is Green Bean. Oh, you mentioned Green Bean. I was in a DFW airport doing, I was going on a trip to Canada, and this is in DFW airport. And they have a green bean coffee joint inside there, and I don't know if they're the same Green Bean. I don't know if it's another company named Green Bean or if it was like the Green Bean that we all know and love. So I'm going to launch this stuff, and I am going to do this, and hopefully we can connect back with our good friend Pookie here. Oh, I saw Christopher. I think we're still on the air. Oh gosh, are we still on? Can someone give me some thumbs up to see if we're still on? Ursula, are we still on? Okay, someone heard me talk about green beans, so that's awesome. Oh, Korea has awesome coffee. You know who has really, really good coffee is Turkey. Turkey has really, really good coffee. Hey, welcome back.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, remember those problems we used to have?
Yeah, that sounded like a gremlin just struck because I was confused as heck there for a second.
Right. That had nothing to do with you. At first, I was like, oh my gosh. But no, that was me. That was remember that machine that used to restart randomly? That's my telephone machine, and it decided to restart randomly.
Oh, okay.
So guess what Kaz needs to do? I need to replace that old dinosaur. I apologize. So we have elections coming up.
The ones that no one pays attention to.
The ones that no one pays attention to, but the ones in Texas are kind of, I don't want to sound biased, but the ones in Texas are kind of significant. And the reason is one of the people running for the governor of Texas is how did Mink's Robert Francis O'Rourke is running for governor of Texas.
Oh, you mean Beto?
Beto,
the guy who claimed he was Hispanic but is Irish. But
that guy. So once upon a time, let me pull this thing up. This is number 5. Once upon a time, only 2 years ago, and I wrote this, so if it's fucked up, it's my fault. Once upon a time, only 2 years ago, Robert Francis O'Rourke, also known as Beto, wanted to be president of the United States. On the debate stage, the topic turned to gun control, and Beto proclaimed loudly and unapologetically, "Hell yes, we're going to take away your AR-15s and your AK-47. He also said that when he becomes president, he would require citizens to turn in their military-style weapons. Now, Beto is running against Greg Abbott to be the next governor of Texas. Now he is saying, and this is just 2 days old, this quote is 2 days old, "I'm not interested in taking anything from anyone. What I want to make sure is that we defend the Second Amendment." O'Rourke explained that to reporters on Tuesday, that his position on guns is based on his desire to listen to law enforcement. Beto is trying to use the fact that Governor Abbott signed the permitless carry law into the permitless carry thing into law last year. And he says more people are getting shot in Texas, including police officers, because of this law. There is absolutely zero evidence of this happening. But hey, let's not ruin a good story, right? Most blue voters are going to support Beto regardless of what he says or what he does. He really doesn't need to try. He just needs to put his name in the hat. This will not get him elected. He needs to convince like the light red voters and independents to swing over to the blue side.
Just to be honest, I know a lot of Democrats in the state of Texas, and they are avid gun owners. Mm-hmm. It's bred into the Texans at that point. Like, guns are good.
We hunt, we shoot. Don't tell us what to do. That's pretty much. If there was ever a libertarian that could come into Texas and kind of take control, I think that would be like the best. So he would, I was talking about like light red voters, or that. Do libertarians have colors? Is there a color for a libertarian?
Yeah, it's yellow, I guess.
It's a yellow.
Yellow.
That's that's a bad color to identify with, but okay.
Anarcho. Well, I'd say the whole anarcho-capitalist kind of thing kind of falls into, I won't say libertarian, but they kind of borrow colors from each other because they both kind of have the whole mentality on things, like leave me the heck alone, let me do whatever the heck I want.
Yeah.
It's the black and yellow that they fall in for some reason. Steelers colors.
So red's the Republicans, blues Democrats, yellow would be libertarian. Yeah. Then the others just pretty much don't matter. We're pretty much, independent voters are mostly libertarian, so I guess we can group those together. Can we? Maybe.
You got your Green Party and all kinds of crazy independents. So
yeah,
our politics are weird.
So the Texas gubernatorial race is going to be one to watch. In my opinion, that at sometime in the future, and this is me just talking, sometime in the future, Texas will turn blue. This isn't my hope, but cities like Dallas, Austin, and Houston are three very, very blue cities. And they are the main population centers in Texas. So you do the math.
Yeah. And pretty much every county along the border is a blue county, pretty much.
Yeah. So I'm registered to vote. I have been since forever ago. Most of my time is been in Texas. I've never said, okay, what would you like to register as? Do you want to register as anything? No, it's just name, number, address, show me your driver license, and you're registered. I've never been registered as a party member. I've voted cross-party before, but I've never had that before. So we got some on the conservative side. On the Republican side, there's the conservatives stacking up against Governor Abbott. We got Paul Bellew. His campaign is cut ties with the federal government, and legalize marijuana and casinos.
What?
That I just have bullet points for the candidates that are running for governor of Texas.
Oh, okay. No, I missed that last statement. My brain went somewhere for a second. I apologize.
It happens. It happens. Danny Harrison. He is all for property rights. Is that Danny Harrison? Property rights. Property rights. Open beaches. He wants to open all the beaches. Dude, all the beaches are open. Have you seen the news? Secure the southern border, and believes that Governor Abbott should have done more to defend Trump during all of that election stuff. And he contends that it was a stolen election. A female, I'm assuming this is a female, Candy Cane Horn. Candy with a K, Kandy, Kaye, Candy K Horn. She's a philanthropist from the Houston area. She doesn't have a campaign website, and she says she wants to improve the world. And then there's Don Huffines, which is that guy right there, which I think this guy is going to win on the Republican side to run against Governor Abbott. He wants to secure the border, but his statements are like, he goes, I'm going to do it with or without the Fed. He goes, I'm done asking for, I'm not going to ask permission. I'm just going to do it. He wants to bring prayer back in schools, and he wants another Super Bowl ring for the Dallas Cowboys. So after his first 4 years, you're like, you didn't fulfill your promise for another ring for the Dallas Cowboys. So let me see more. There's another guy, Rick Perry.
Rick Perry.
Rick Perry. Okay, yeah, that look on your face was, no, it's not that Rick Perry. It's just seriously, it's some guy named Rick Perry put his name into the hat. It's not that Rick Perry. It's just some dude named Rick Perry. He paid the fee, put his name on the ballot, and that's it. He's got no plan other than his name is Rick Perry. I thought that was pretty damn funny. So we got Chad Prather, which may be familiar to people. He's a conservative YouTube talk show guy. He's all for election integrity. He wants to control human trafficking. He wants to preserve the right to life, and he often rants from the cab of his pickup truck. And he actually has a nickname called the Pickup Truck Pundit. And last but not least, on the conservative side, oopsies, not her. I got to do this one. This is Alan West. A lot of
he was my battalion commander when I first came.
Are you kidding?
Army.
Really?
I'm dead serious. Yes.
So Alan West is a retired lieutenant colonel from the Army, former Republican Party chair in Texas, and that is pretty much all. I'm not sure. I know he was a very pro-Trump guy. I'm really not sure about Steele. I think he was. He did a bunch of Stop the Steal presentations and stuff, but I'm not sure where he sits now.
I used to follow him a little bit. I mean, there's a big controversy of him getting out of the military, but I don't want to really get into that. I mean, for me, talking to him before he had left the military, he seemed like a very decent guy. Very decent guy. So
he's yeah. I've got nothing wrong with him. And even if
220 FA commander, good guy.
And even if you're in the corner of, hey, stop the steal or whatever, that is what your belief, and stand up for your beliefs and do your thing. But I think, and after all of those, I think it's going to be Huffines that's going to be running against Greg Abbott. So on the Democrat side, on the blue side of the ticket, we have oh my gosh, I don't have any pictures of these folks. Yeah, I do. We got I really don't want to mispronounce these people's names. Innocencio Barentz. And if you look at his campaign website, he doesn't have one, and there's no information on him. He's just a guy that registered to run against. Okay, Michael Cooper, his goals are to control climate change and criminal justice reform. Joy Diaz, I think that's this one right here. Her name is Joy Diaz. She's a public radio journalist. She says that we need to control the border. We need to make public education more robust, and the state of preparedness are her top 3 issues. I really don't know what she means by that. She wants to, the border is paramount to her, public education and state preparedness. State preparedness for what? I don't know. Really.
Berman Supreme for Texas.
Oh my gosh. We've had him on the show. Not our show, but Rich Wakeland. Not a bad candidate on the left side. He's a retired Navy Reserve captain. He is campaigning on a more robust power grid, which was an issue last year. We just had a cold snap. It wasn't the cold snap that we had last year in Texas, which took out power for a lot of folks, and that was horrible. But it seems to not be an issue anymore. I don't know. I have no idea how the power grid works. He wants to keep growing the high-tech industry. And by that, I think he means what's happening in Austin, which I think it's not a bad thing. I think they need to spread it around, because with all these high-tech companies moving into Austin, it's driving home prices way high. Super, super high. I mean, higher than normal. Higher than everything normal. It's making like normal people. Picture you have a house. You have a house, and let's say you paid $100,000 for it. And with all of these high-tech companies paying high-tech wages, your $100,000 house is almost $300,000. Let's just say it's worth $300,000. Great. I've got a house that I paid $100,000 for that is now worth $300,000. Well, guess what? The city or the county that you reside in says, hey, this dude's got a $300,000 house, so we're going to tax him at $300,000. And that's what's causing people to not be able to pay the taxes on their house.
Or causing a lot of people who have been living there a long time to just sell out and leave real quick.
Yeah. Or even me, I want to say daily, but I mean, every week or two, I get a postcard in the mail. It's like, hey, and this is a handwritten postcard going, my name is, I'm going to throw a name out there. My name is Carl. I'm a real estate agent. Here's my number. I would like to make a cash offer for your house.
That's exactly what happened to my mother when she was living in Houston before she had moved. Because Exxon Mobil had moved into build a big headquarters kind of area in Houston, and the housing, like, she moved into that house $80,000. By the time she had left, I think it was like something like close to $200,000 or something along the lines of that. So they were like just on her, like, hey, sell your house. You know.
If I was in a situation where I was hurting for money or whatever, I would probably take it, but I'm doing really, really good. So I'm gonna stay in my inexpensive house, and I'm gonna ride it out. I'm gonna ride it out, because even if it drops, I've been offered $220,000 for this house that I paid $100,000 for. Even if the market drops, I'm still gonna make more money than I put into it. So I think I'm gonna hang out. Let me see. Robert Francis O'Rourke. Oh my goodness. Here's that guy. Is the other Democrat running for governor of Texas. He's Irish. That's on his bio. He's a former congressman from El Paso. While he was congressman, he passed one bill, the naming of a courthouse. He lost to Ted Cruz in the 2018 Senate race by 2 percentage points, which is crazy. Ted Cruz is extremely popular in Texas. A lot of folks don't like him. I mean, let's leave Cancun out of this from last year. But
that was just,
a lot of folks, he just looks like a Herman Munster type of, not Herman Munster, just Grandpa Munster. And that beard.
When he started growing the beard out, he started looking more kind of,
Fidel Castro.
Yeah.
And that blue suit, and this is just an aesthetics thing. The blue suit has got to go. I told my story about Ted Cruz. He comes to our plant a lot. He's been there a number of times. But that was, I needed to get out of my lab and get into another lab. And the only other door that I could get out, I walked out and there was a bunch of these dignitaries there. And we knew that someone, a VIP, was going to be there. And I just, I've got a big piece of sheet metal in my hand. I'm like, excuse me. And I walked past like Ted Cruz and one of his guys. So Ted Cruz, Beto wants to tear down existing border barriers and decriminalize illegal border crossing. Yeah, that's not good.
That's all I can say. I don't know if you saw me on the camera.
Yeah, I did.
That's not good at all.
Another thing in Beto's corner is he had a DUI conviction in 1998. He had a burglary arrest in 1995, eminent domain ethics violations in 2006, and he admitted to an illegal purchase of Twitter stock in 2013, and the Federal Elections Commission charges him with illegal campaign contributions in 2018.
This dude is just a political fraud at this point.
Yeah, so there's no doubt in my mind at all that Beto O'Rourke is going to be the Democrat that's going to be running against
oh dear Lord,
Greg Abbott. So it's going to be Greg Abbott being reelected. It's going to be Huffines replacing Governor Abbott, or it's going to be Beto O'Rourke becoming the governor of Texas. I hope it's not. I don't have a problem.
I think Alan West would do a good job for Texas.
I think Alan West is awesome. I think he is awesome, but I think just looking at everything, I think Huffines is going to be. The thing is, if you drive around here in the Arlington, Fort Worth area, and even in Dallas, and I don't know if they're related, but there's Huffines Auto, like they sell shit tons of cars. I don't know if he's a part of that, but that name's out there.
I'm surprised Mattress Mac from Houston hasn't ran for governor
yet. Oh, Mattress Mac.
He'd probably win. He just...
Okay, Christopher Measles says maybe if he fails for governor, he will run for the mayor of El Paso. Are you talking about Beto? I don't know of a lot of. He has fans. I don't think he has a lot of supporters. He has fans, and I think the people that vote for him are just going to vote for him because he's a blue.
Kind of like Bernie, you gotta
vote. Bernie, Uncle Bernie.
Party lines. I gotta vote. Party lines. I don't think about what I vote. I just gotta vote for my party.
Lots of folks do that. It's like a generational. It's a generational voting thing.
Both sides. It's both sides.
It is It is both sides. I'm glad I raised my kids better than that.
Research, critical thinking. Do it,
and then follow the money. Who is supporting this person? Yeah, we got AOC coming down to Dallas soon, and she's going to be like hitting the various like she'll be in Dallas, she'll be in Austin, and I think she's going to Houston, and she's going to proclaim her support, I guess, for
why?
She thinks her support matters, and it does. I mean, whether you like her or not, or her support, her opinion matters to people.
Her opinion from New York matters to people in Texas.
Yep. No, it matters. It matters just because AOC says it does. And she's. I mean, I think Okay, she's a rock star in the political world, and her opinion matters. It doesn't matter whether it's in North Dakota, California, or Texas. It's just, you know, oh, AOC likes this candidate, so I'm going to vote for that candidate. Just because people don't do their homework.
I mean, the woman who wears a tax-rich dress at a $30,000 banquet meal. That, you know, people don't make in a year. Oh, okay, I got you.
Hey, sometimes we broadcast from the basement of the Alamo.
The basement of Alamo is awesome. Just FYI.
So if you walk into the Alamo and then take an immediate left, and then another immediate left, and then hit that button, an elevator will secretly appear and take you down to the basement of the Alamo. All right, we're going to take a break because it's time to take a break. And when we come back, we're talking about the free crack pipes. All right.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, hang tight, and we're going to be back in just a couple of minutes. Shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
This is Randy Couture, and you're listening to WTF Nation Radio.
WTF Nation Radio.
It was next. Damn it, Jay Rady, we need you back in the family here. We were muted. So I was asking Pookie if he had any plans for Valentine's Day, and you said,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, there's sound now. I got to remember to mash the buttons, man. It's a hard thing. Doing like walking and chewing gum is difficult.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus. Is that me or you? It's not me. So, that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
It wasn't me. I wasn't getting a call, so.
I think that was another person who was on the line trying to learn the ropes and doing things and stuff.
Hey, Mom. How you doing?
Hey, Mom. What's up?
Ma.
Hey, Ma.
Ma.
Oh my gosh! And then I was going to segue into Super Bowl. Do you have a pick? If you had to pick one team right now, who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I really don't care.
And I'm in the same camp. I really don't care because I like the Bengals only because if I told Mom I didn't like the Bengals, she'd probably kill me or something. But I like Matthew Stafford. I think he deserves to be where he's at. I think it's going to be a great game. I really think it's going to be a good game. And I think the halftime show is going to be pretty badass. I think the halftime show is probably going to be better than the game itself.
All the Gen Xers and early millennials are like hyped about this stuff. Like, yeah.
And I've got a Snoop Dogg story, and it's a good story.
I've heard about that.
But right now we're going to talk about crack pipes because that's what I said we're going to, and I even said that on last night's show that we're going to talk about crack pipes because there's, the administration's thing that came out. They provided a statement saying that they're going to what do they call it? They want to confront the overdose epidemic.
Harm reduction.
It's the harm reduction effort. Thank you very much. So here we are. There's the Biden crack pipe thing, which I thought was hilarious. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys are like going to give away free crack pipes and shit. That's fucked up. But the thing is, it doesn't surprise me. It really didn't surprise me. But here's the story. The Biden administration is doling out $30 million worth of grant money to communities across the country to confront the overdose epidemic, which has been exceedingly exacerbated by the COVID pandemic. All these emics things. The funding, which was announced and open for applications in December, is meant to increase access to harm reduction services, preventing overdose deaths and minimizing health risks associated with drug use. Remember, this is probably 2 months ago, we did a story about an actual building in New York that was going to be used for, this is a safe shoot-up zone. There's medics and doctors on site, and they were going to provide you clean needles and all this other stuff.
The police don't mess with you.
The police don't mess with you. So I think this is more of a global scale thing happening.
Or countrywide, not global.
Yeah, not global. This is a countrywide thing. Thank you for the correction. The plan has been met with controversy, criticizing the distribution of safe smoking kits and supplies, which critics claimed was tantamount to handing out crack pipes to the public. And that's where this little meme comes from. This little picture comes from. According to Jen Psaki, who is the spokesman for the White House, she says they were never a part of the kit. It was inaccurate reporting. We don't support federal funding, indirect or direct, for pipes. So what exactly is in these kits? Everyone's talking about these safe smoking kits. What's in this safe smoking kit? What's in these kits is alcohol swabs. And she says, so what's exactly in these kits? According to Jen Psaki, they may contain and may contain, is in quotes, the following: alcohol swabs, lip balm, hygiene items, fentanyl test strips, and clean syringes. Some of the other stuff on the list: harm reduction vending machines, including stock for those machines, infectious disease testing kits for HIV, HBV, HCV, etc. Medication lock boxes. So I saw medication lock boxes. I'm like, what does that mean? I remember like a bunch of years ago, you can go down to the fire department and get trigger locks for your guns. So I guess this is like a medical lock box for if you have powerful opioid type of medications, you can lock them up to keep other family members who may be suffering from addiction to getting to them. Safe sex kits, including PrEP resources and condoms. Screening for infectious diseases, HIV, sexually transmitted infections, and viral hepatitis. Sharps disposal and medication disposal kits. You can get those from Uline. If you ever go to Uline, you can just, these things just, you can get them. Vaccination services for hepatitis A, B, those things. Wound care management supplies. So I'm thinking there's like a big old pallet of Band-Aids and stuff.
Sores, meth sores, and all kinds of craziness. Yep.
Yeah. And all that crocodile stuff, I mean, that stuff like eats away at your just muscles and bones, or it eats away at everything and leaves the bone. So here's my statement on this. The document that I sourced this information from is 75 pages long. Most of it is intent language and definitions of terms and such. A lot of it has to do with the responsibilities that fall on the local communities who participate in this program. While the document does mention issuing clean syringes, there is no mention at all of free crack pipes. It's not happening. Look, there's plenty of real shit wrong with the current administration. There is no need to make up stuff to make them look bad. They're doing fine all by themselves. We don't have to make shit up. And it's really easy to just go, oh, free crack pipes. Yeah, but look at don't get, the gaslighting. Don't get your ass fired up because of that, because of what you read online. Get into the facts, read the facts, consume the information, and then make a decision.
Yes.
Is this a bad thing? I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a bad thing in the fact that they're shelling out free syringes, but it keeps people from reusing syringes that they might be with a partner or another syringe that they may find. I'm sorry, I've never been an injectable addict or any addict of that sort or whatever, so I can't speak to that. But if this helps addicts not die, okay, I think I'm fine with it.
I just get super heated about this. I think I've mentioned this before. Like people who can't get access to needles because needles are so restricted for say, what is it? Insulin
for
injection.
Yeah, for diabetes.
Or they're arthritis. Methotrexate is a big one. Like sometimes you'll go to an area and they'll be like, "Hey, we don't have any syringes for you," but then there's free syringes for, like a crackhead or, excuse my language, like a drug addict or whatever. But it kind of irritates me. At the point is like, when do you draw a line? Like, just make all let me just walk into a pharmaceutical over the table and be like, "Hey, I need a couple syringes." Pay 50 cents per syringe. Where do you draw a line at that point?
I'm trying to pay attention to the comments in the chats because I'm really, really interested in them. Fuck Brandon, he's a loser. Let's go, Brandon. They don't care, why should I? Ursula, what do you mean by that?
I did read a comment earlier, something about the cartels and the borders being open, and this just supports, the cartels making their money.
Yeah.
Along the lines. I think that's what I read. I can't find it, but that could be it. It could be that President's son has pictures floating around the internet with a crack pipe hanging out of his mouth. I don't know if that's like legit or not, but.
Yo, this is Yukon the finest. I'm gonna tell you what this Jen Kawasaki bitch be doing. She said it's a fucking crackhead Christmas over this bitch. Nah, I mean, come here, Martha, suck my ass while I talk to this white man.
WTF Nation, we're on the air.
You're on the air.
It's a crackhead Christmas. They say they ain't doing shit. Let me tell you. This bitch done sucked all the crack pipes. It's a Christmas in this bitch. The only thing this bitch didn't do is sing crack. And that's what I'm really looking for.
Prospector in the north.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Reddy. If you don't know Jay Reddy, this is Jay Reddy. What a beautiful voice you've got.
What up, bro?
What's going on, man?
Man, I was looking for some crack.
You were looking for some crack. Well, at least you got a free crack pipe to smoke it out of.
Yo.
The thing is, with that program, I mean, you've got to like register for that program. There's a lot. It's not like there's going to be some like TSA agent going, crack pipe? You want a crack pipe? Hey, you want a crack pipe? No, it's not like that at all.
Gotta get a crackhead social security number.
Oh, so we can register all the crack users.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Am I coming in loud and clear?
You are.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. That's what I like to hear.
So what you been up to, man?
TikTok today.
Do you have a
TikTok today?
You got kicked off of TikTok.
Yeah. I told this lady fella. She told me, hey, free speech is racist. I got mad. I couldn't compute. My brain wouldn't let me compute such a fucking statement. I did not know what to think. So I just went animalistic and I told this lady,
person?
I was like, you know what? Well, it was a lady going to a white man.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking about the white man too. And I'm like, this is weird because you're transforming into one. But when she's saying all this stuff about it, bruh, I got so mad. I told her I hope that she shoots so much testosterone into her vagina that she grows balls and grabs them and actually does something for community. It is fun. And TikTok wasn't too pleased about that.
They might frown upon that.
Dude, you can't do nothing. I seen an entire vulva on that thing.
I've never been on TikTok. I see like someone would post a link.
TikTok is crazy. TikTok is crazy sometimes.
It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time, to be honest with you.
But you know what? When I got into that TikTok hole, I just went from one video to the next video to the next video and then scroll down and okay, that looks interesting. Click on that one. But that's it. That's all algorithms because you like this one, you might like this one. So all of my stuff, it's like going on YouTube. You're going to find because you like this or that or the other thing, they're going to focus that down on you.
Mine are horses and large breasts.
Those are very widely scattered as far as the algorithm goes. So you're probably breaking meta. You're breaking the metaverse, Jay Reddy.
What does that shit mean? Like when people say that's so meta, what does that mean?
Oh, I don't know what that means. I'm just the metaverse is what TikTok is what Facebook is. Oh, go ahead, Pookie, please.
Okay, like back in the day, gaming wise, meta meant like what is kind of like the way to do things.
Is that like beta? You're such a beta.
Oh no. Every time like the game would update, the meta would change. So you would have to like change your entire, like say you were playing like a fighting game, like they'd update the game to balance things out. So the meta would change, meaning you would have to change your entire play style in order to be able to compete with people. So when they say the meta, it's every time something upgrades, everything changes and you got to get into it. If you don't, you'll fall behind. That's this.
Oh, you got to change with the times.
Yes.
Or else you become a boomer.
How does that correlate with that's so meta? That sounds so dumb.
Because I used to play video games back in the day to break the meta. I was a meta breaker where I would just be like, okay, everyone's running this. I'm going to find something that will break the meta and make them update it again.
Make them change to you rather than change to them.
Yes. So I would break the whole system. We would call it meta breaking, where we would just like make this crazy character at this point. And everyone's like, oh, it's too overpowered. La, da, da, da. You're ruining the game. And then they would update the game and change the meta at that point.
Cause you know what's crazy about Pookie is that he just doesn't do anything normally. Ever.
But maybe I've been with Pookie for so long. I mean, he used to be your gunner, and now he's my gunner, and I'm on the same wavelength. I completely get what he's saying.
Y'all are beautiful together. I would look if there was a matrimony that was meant to be matrimonized. I would like to see y'all touch.
Yeah. So what you been up to, Jay?
Oh, what? That was a lot of info at once. Say that again.
What you been up to, man? I miss you. I miss you like a lot.
Dude, I miss doing radio too. I miss it a lot because I've been producing a lot of podcasts for people and getting paid for it. So that's tits. And you know what?
You're like down to 95 pounds now. I'm guessing.
No. I got COVID, and when I got COVID, I got little, dude. Dude, I got that Delta. That Delta fucking shook my soul. I felt like that bitch off The Exorcist. Oh my God.
I'm glad you're above ground and with us, man.
Oh yeah, I thought I was gonna die. Look, that shit made you like think about, man, maybe these hoes are right. But they ain't. It's just I just got really bad sick.
I think I was sick too. I don't think I thought that. I thought I was just sick, and then I got better, and I went back to work.
I went to the hospital because I was taking a shower, and I got too hot. Next thing I know, I'm asshole naked, face floor on the bathroom floor with my nose busted open and my face busted open. I passed out with my own nakedness, and the Delta did it. I had to go to the hospital.
Then you went to the hospital.
But they just said drink water and shut the fuck up, go home. And I'm like, give me that Joe Rogan. They're like, fuck Joe Rogan. And I'm like, fuck. So I went home, and my wiener didn't even work for a whole 3 weeks.
You couldn't pee for 3 weeks?
Antibodies. No, I couldn't get it. I could pee, just not erect.
Not even in the morning. Not even in the morning.
Not even
No morning wood with you?
Dude, there was no kind of wood. This was balsa. Like this.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't take a sip of my beer when you said that.
Bruh, it was tough stuff, but I survived it. And as you know, I own the company Great White Oak Media, and I take pictures for a living now. And I produce people's podcasts and shit for them.
You've got some you got some really fucking awesome pictures, man. Even the ones
thank you.
Even the ones that you say, hey, I don't think this is shit, but here you go. I'm like, fuck, that's awesome.
I really love doing it. It's quiet. It's not radio, and I do miss radio a lot. I miss this audience a lot. I miss acting a fool a lot, but I had to calm the fuck down after, me and Pookie and that one fellow were doing conspiracy theories, and we just went down a hole, man. I lost my mind.
Did that change your entire mindset for like your day-to-day activities?
An entire year. That the months I started doing that until I left,
there wasn't a lot of time. There wasn't a lot of time between the time that you started to the time that you left.
Yeah, dude, me and Pookie and that one fellow, we were so deep off into it, and they had me absolutely convinced all this shit was real, and I bought into it, man, and I've started going down these rabbit holes, and I fucking discovered Reddit, which is the worst thing you could ever fucking do. And I just went, dude, my mental health was gone. But then me and Pookie one day found this app called Stereo, and we started fucking with people.
Oh no. What's that about?
Stereo's like a podcast thing.
Does it even exist anymore?
Yeah, I thought about downloading it the other day just to get silly with it and fuck with people. But I'm like, no, I don't want to do it without Pookie, and I don't know what you're doing these days. So it's one time, me and Pookie, we had this for real crackhead call us and tell us she was trying to convince us to fucking storm the Vatican because Jesus was getting raped by the devil, and we had to go kick the door down and go get him.
Did you?
No, tried.
No.
I tried.
I bought plane tickets and everything.
No, I bought a rowboat ticket. Let's be honest. I'm not that rich. But yeah, dude, I've been doing like podcasts here and there. You know, I mean, nothing's like WTF's Nation Radio. It's the most gangster veteran war talk war fighter radio there is on the planet, and I've been stopping in from time to time. I've deleted Facebook. All I got is Instagram and my website.
You did.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. I really wish, and you know, because of the way that we are as a station, I can't just get rid of that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Maybe y'all can change it one day. Maybe you can just go off. Well, no, the audience is on Facebook. Fuck.
They're all interconnected. Everything is interconnected. If you're on Instagram, if you're on Instagram, you are in Zuckerberg's little glove box.
But okay, on Instagram though, it's just pictures, and I don't really say shit. It's not political for me. Seriously, when I hit the search bar, it pulls up horses and photography stuff. I don't even look at titties on Instagram. I promise I don't. My Instagram is clean. It's straight cut. It's Christian.
Wipe my hands of that. I'm clean. The only reason why I got on Instagram in the first place was to see.
Dude, they got this is what I'm tripping. I sent you 2 audio links to my Dropbox.
Yep.
If you got them,
I do.
One of them is called. It's not SSRI. It's the other one. I forgot.
Oh, okay. It was after SSRI. That was the last one I got.
SSRI is the song. It's the song I did about SSRIs. The other one is basically saying, and I've been going off of this a lot because I've been watching the Canadian thing and I've been watching the crack pipe thing.
What do you think about the Canadian thing?
I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of them.
Yes, I've been watching that too. Crazy enough, like religiously.
My opinion is like great. People are standing up, but what the fuck happens? I mean, when things are hard to get on the shelves now. Not everything. Some things are hard to find. Sometimes it's hard to find milk. Sometimes it's hard to find eggs. So what happens if the American truckers decide to go from California all the way to Washington, D.C., and they clog up I-20 and I-30 and all these other interstates going from the west to the east, and then all of a sudden we can't get our shit even more.
This is my statement, and I've thought deeply about this. We as young men joined the military. We sacrificed ourselves. This small percentage of America sacrificed ourselves, and some of our brothers didn't get back, and sisters didn't get back. We sacrificed our entire thought process, our entire childhood, our entire 20s. We sacrificed everything, our love lives, our children's lives, everything. And we came back, and we're still trying to deal with that. We sacrificed. We were uncomfortable. we were uncomfortable for every fucking body. I think to put your money where your mouth is as a fucking American, you're going to have to be uncomfortable while we go fucking retrieve freedom as a whole. And I think that's what Canada is doing. It's going to suck. And they're doing it in the dead of winter, which is even more
it's cold as fuck up there, dude. I was in Montreal for two weeks and some days, and I'm just like, man, send me back to Texas. This sucks.
People think fucking freedom is easy. People think freedom is free. People think it's not uncomfortable.
Freedom isn't free.
It doesn't fucking happen. It just doesn't happen. It has to be worked for.
And we need, as a people, and I want our truckers to go get some, and they're gonna, and I'm looking at them as warriors right now, because some of them are going to lose jobs. These police officers that are going to have to make a decision
to either arrest them, fine, or whatever they do up there. There's like, if you're a police officer, how can you, with the core that you have in your beliefs, how can you issue a citation to a trucker who is fighting for their freedom?
Exactly.
How do you do that? How do you reconcile that between being a peace officer and enforcing the laws to issuing someone who you probably support?
Exactly. Or getting gasoline from people who's like, that drives me nuts at that point too.
Well, their children are there with them, and it's like, come on, guys, you know where to be on the right side of history, and it's with the people. And I say this is a democracy is when everybody knows what's happening in the government. There's transparency, but in our reality, the government knows everything about us, and we don't know shit about what's going on up top. And speaking of crack pipes, have you read the new book about Hunter Biden and the laptop from hell?
The magical laptop that's hidden away somewhere in the FBI somewhere?
No. They got it. They released there's a book called The Laptop from Hell.
Mm-hmm.
If this tells you what our president and his agenda is. So fuck the politics behind it. It's the being a human part about it. If these truckers decide, hey, we're going to go circle, this is a land of fuck you. This is what this thing says. We are the land of fuck you, man. Don't tell us what to do. Don't tell us what to say. Don't tell us what to wear. Don't tell us what to believe. I love that about America, man. I love it so fucking much. And if these truckers go, and I hope the military, when they get called out to face this, I hope they revolt against the command. I hope they stand fast, and I want them to take care of people that are not safe, of course, but we have to come together as humans, and there's going to be a huge collide. These truckers are going to the border, and these truckers are going to Washington, D.C., man. There's so much talk about this.
A choice needs to be made between enforcing the not laws. I don't want to say laws, but the requirements. I think that is probably the most strong thing. The requirements. Hey, the administration requires that you do this. Or the law and the Constitution says this other thing, which is completely 180 degrees out from whatever the fuck. So they need to make a decision of, up in Canada, they had, the government of Ottawa, and I want to say Ontario, they called tow truckers, hey, we need to get these trucks out of the way. And they're like, no, we all got COVID. We can't come to work today.
Yeah. It's the fuck you. That's what's beautiful.
That's the fuck you is awesome. I love the fuck you.
It's the most American thing you can do, man. It literally, that is how America started. Hey, yo. Hey, King.
Exactly. I mean,
fuck you,
dude,
bud.
The Boston Tea Party happened for much, much less restrictions. And we're continually putting up with this overreach. and this is my opinion, it's overreach. It's a government overreach is way huge right now. And we're just going, okay. And we're just going, okay. Like one more, okay. Continue to wear the mask and blah, 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 blah. Fortunately, here in Texas, it's just like, okay, COVID, is that still a thing? When I was up in Canada, it was like, you shall wear a mask and you shall be 2 meters away from someone else. They were so very serious about that. People walk around in Canada, and I'm talking about in Quebec, which where I'm at, I was at, everybody was pretty terrified. Not terrified, just afraid to be around people. You would talk to people and they would be like pushing away from you, and you would be having a conversation with someone who's 10 feet away from you. And I'm like, that's dude, crazy. No, it was really weird. It was really, really strange.
That's crazy as fuck. And in Kansas City, dude, they nobody gave a fuck. Most Americans don't give a fuck. It's like, and that's the spirit we have.
I think I don't think it's like most Americans don't give a fuck. I think it's most Americans know they have the information and they use that information they use that information to make their personal decision.
True.
When I work at work, it's like, if I'm going to be within, 6 feet of someone, I'm going to put on something over my face just because that's the policy of my company. If I'm, when I go grocery shopping, I don't mask up because I'm not ever near anybody, but like it does something, right?
When I take a shower, I put one on just to feel sexy,
But yeah, and it makes it hard to breathe and you feel like you're being smothered.
Ooh, yeah. Then you pass out on the floor.
And then you bust your face on the floor, and the next thing you know, you're in the emergency room. And that's when you thought you had COVID.
Oh yeah, it was just me being sexy.
Yeah.
I am excited. Look, okay, so this is a turning point for America, and this is a turning point for all of us, man. We see a lot of media and how it's playing out and this narrative, and we all see the bullshit. We all see it. We all know it. We all feel it. We all go to separate sources of news. We don't really watch Fox or CNN anymore. I mean, Joe Rogan actually proves this.
I would rather get my news from Joe than anywhere else.
For sure. Them and Breaking Points for sure.
You're not even getting news from Joe. You're just getting information, and you can break it down with your own critical thought at that point. No?
Absolutely.
I don't like to be told. I don't like to be told what to think. Give me the information, and then give me the information, and I'll be fine with it.
Well, they treat us like children, and I think after the pandemic, the plandemic is. I call it a plandemic, and I'm going to send you a link to something that I think you would like. What is beeping?
No, that's my mute button.
Oh, fuck.
The demic and the demic.
Oh, yeah. So I got you. So I'm going to send you a link of there's a trial going on right now, and there these experts from all over the world, and it's an international trial. There's day one was yesterday.
A trial of what?
This whole shebang, dude. They're indicting B. Gates. They're indicting.
No?
Yeah, they're indicting that P5, the people that own it. They're indicting all the what's his name? Fucking Little New York.
Cuomo?
Dr.
Fucci? That guy?
Dr. Fukushima.
Sounds like spaghetti.
They're indicting all these people. This is the international court.
Where? Where is this happening?
I don't know where the base of it's at, but there's lawyers from all over the world. They're from all these different countries, and they have made their case. They're bringing in experts, like that one guy that was on Rogan that invented the test.
Oh yeah, that old dude with the gray beard. Yeah, kind of looks like Pookie.
The whole the guy who caused the whole Joe Rogan thing to freaking blow up in the first place.
Well, he's a part of it.
He developed the RNA. Stuff.
So I'm going to send you this link.
Do it.
I don't know why it's not huge. I don't know why this is not huge news that this is happening, because it's an international trial going on.
Hey, Jay,
with these people.
Remember how you got out of the tinfoil stuff because it was driving you crazy? I think you're still in it a bit.
This is not. No. This is not tinfoil.
I know it's not tinfoil.
This is real. I watched it
on the internet. Don't get too wrapped around the axle about this stuff. There's I'm not discounting any of this, but there's laws and processes and things that have to happen for these things to be either done or undone.
Yeah, no, this is what's happening. This is why the whole investigation, this is why all the thing, this is day one. This is not an occult. This is not a big FU to the thing. This is a process of intellect, and this is just starting. So I hope I will send it to you. You let me know what you think.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it. It's like, whoa, these people are saying some outrageous things. Let's see what hole this goes down.
As long as the information can be corroborated and verified.
And I think this is what they're doing. These are all, this is what I think they're doing. And hopefully they do it correctly. So I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. How about them Chiefs? I'm just kidding. Fuck, never mind. I don't even like football no more.
Do you have a pick for the Super Bowl?
Fuck no. I'm going to pick my nose.
Do you care? Okay.
No, hell no. My city died the other day.
Oh, they kind of fucked that up.
I watched a man get hit by a car because he was so mad he lost.
No.
Yeah, he walked in traffic screaming because he was mad, and pow, he gone. I wish I had my phone up, to be honest.
As long as you do it like horizontally, not vertically, because that's fucked up.
I know. Ice used to fucking rip my ass about that, dude. I'm horizontal as shit now, dude. All day. Like, I can't do anything unless it's horizontal, because I'll hear Ice going, "You motherfucker, turn your phone sideways."
The greatest thing about that is TikTok came out and everything became boop.
I know that's bullshit. TikTok is one of the big reasons Facebook's dying. Have y'all gained or lost people on the platform or your followers? Like U.S. Army, what the fuck? Have y'all?
I have no idea. Like? I have no idea.
I know it's been over 1 million for a long time, but I wonder, since everybody's like, it's a mass eject.
No, I bought a bunch of stock in that. Was it Rumble? I bought a bunch of stock in a Rumble. What they got a blank check, like kind of like IPO starting up, and I was like, oh well, if they can offer Joe Rogan $100 million for 4 years, they got cash.
They got cash, yeah.
Yeah, I won't miss this company.
I want to put some stock in some Black Rifle. Look, I'm so
Did
proud
you see
of
that
those
though?
Guys.
They went
dude,
to,
I'm so proud of them. I'm so, like, it's crazy that we were a part of their journey.
Remember being in that bar with like Evan and everybody was just, we're like, we're just hanging out, doing things.
I had Randy Couture's wife put me in a rear naked choke in front of Matt Best and Jared and all of them.
Oh man, I wish I could pull up that fucking picture. I've got that picture.
Look, before I deleted Facebook, I went back into our archives and the videos, and I found the video of the whole festival. I found the videos of.
We took so much video. There was so much video taken.
the video of Pie higher than giraffe pussy.
We had to pull that though, right?
No, do I have that? No, I don't.
No, I've got the entire video. I've got that entire like camera in the corner, everyone smoking their shit, and then me being the babysitter. I've got that entire video. That was such a great night. That was my first night there. Second night there.
That was the craziest trip ever, and it was so fun. And dude, WTF Nation Radio at that time, it was just because we still had the chat room and shit back then.
That was the naughty chat room.
That was the craziest.
That was where boobs and stuff were allowed, and
the Wild West.
The Wild West chat room.
The most drama-filled nudity, drunken behavior of veterans that I've ever seen, and that's when I fell in love with you guys. I loved it.
And then he became family.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God, it was so fucking fun, man. That whole Contact Left was still them playing Contact Left was the greatest concert memory I've ever had in my entire life. Because I was with my family at that concert, and Adrian was singing Contact Left. Assuming We Survive, if people don't know that band, one of the greatest bands of all time. And then watching Pi annihilate himself that night, it was just so great.
Have you paid attention to like Adrian Estrella? He's like a damn. He's a better man now than he was back then.
How is that possible?
He killed the alcohol, man.
Good. Me too. Like, I don't even drink. I can't do it. But I've been talked into going to Orlando to do an ayahuasca retreat.
That might be okay. Talk to a doctor.
Hey, hit me up about that.
All right. You want to go?
I'll go.
It's in Orlando. Where are you still in Florida?
No, but I'll take a trip, man.
Where you at?
I live in Myrtle Beach now, man.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
You're back in Texas, Cos?
Been in Texas. Yeah, still.
Are you still doing that gangster shit?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Bruh, I've been watching. Do you play DCS?
No.
Do you know what it is?
Nope.
It's a flight simulator. It's a war flight simulator, and they got your baby in there.
Which baby? I've got 3 babies. One is not released.
They're not the new baby, but the last baby you showed me.
Okay. No, I haven't seen that.
It's nice. And all it really is a shell, but they program the movements. I don't know how accurate it is, but they got all the planes, and this one fella, Grim Reapers, this is the one of the best YouTube channels of all time. If you're into war shit, he's like, what would happen if you took all the battleships of World War II and a U.S. fleet carrier group from today?
Oh no!
And we're going to stick them. We're going to stick them 100 miles apart and see what happens.
And
what happens?
Nothing good.
Oh yeah, the Arty class are just sending SM2s and just
from 100 miles away. It's like you don't even see them. You're dead.
You got the AWACS and stuff, and then they're in like the Strait of Hormuz, and like one fella's like, all right, I got a what's the SR-71 that it was the predecessor to the SR-71 that had actual Tomahawk missiles in it. It only had like 2 or 3 in there, but it was to shoot down nukes. But it was basically the SR-71. Anyway.
Don't know.
But can't remember the name of it.
It was the YF something. Anyway, it was a fucking SR-71 with air-to-air missiles in it. And dude, It's just this motherfucker's going Mach 2.6 and slinging a fucking missile out. You're like,
can't,
yes,
but
you can't do it. Of course you can't do it, but it's cool.
Don't think of my mind goes to physics. You just can't. I mean, air missile. You're gonna pass them. You as an aircraft are gonna pass the missile up.
Yeah, you're 90,000 feet high too. It's impossible. That's why the aircraft never worked. That's why they made that SR-71. We can't shoot shit. We're just gonna look real far.
With very high resolution.
You know, the Spruce Goose actually flew at one point, right?
Yeah, it did.
That big ass bitch.
What is your favorite aircraft of all time?
F-22 is my favorite. My personal favorite.
That motherfucker's bad to the bone.
Yeah.
So every time I would see, I would watch them go off the flight line and just take it looked like a 90-degree angle to me, and go
vector
hit their ceiling and then go bow, another 90-degree angle. I'm like, holy shit! How did you survive that?
Vector propulsion, baby. Cause I know you're a helo man.
I can't say. I mean, the Cessna is awesome.
What?
But as far as helicopters go,
you said Cessna?
I think as far as the helicopters go, I'm really thinking the Bell 430 and 230 are pretty awesome aircraft. The 407, and every variation of the 407 is pretty Ferrari-like.
What about the Comanche? I know it was never in production, but did you?
I was a member of the I was a member of the net team for the Comanche when I was in the Army, and I liked it. I liked it a whole lot. But from the jump, I was like, man, this is not sustainable. You can't do this. You can't do this in the military. It was such a high-tech aircraft. To bring that into the military was probably not a. Was it a good idea?
Could you do it now?
Now we could, and now we are. I look up the Bell 360 Invictus.
Oh yeah, you sent me. That was the last baby. That was what I'm talking about.
That's I think I told you about the V280, V280, V360. Those two things, Flara and Farah. There's different. There's
and Heath. Yes, that was my first love. The A-10 was like my first love of aircraft. Like I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Take a gun, build a plane around it, shoot shit down. Awesome.
Well, guys, I didn't mean to hijack your show. I love you.
I love you too, man.
I'll live your life. And if you want to play those two songs later, I would love you forever. It was my birthday yesterday, so
happy birthday, sure.
I'm old.
You're
old
like 20. You're like 28 now.
I'm 36.
36?
Oh,
that's not bad.
I'm still a fresh. I'm still a fresh.
36 is very fresh. 36 is a fresh human.
I'm a fresh tot. My legs still work and my peen still works, and I still have regular bowel movements that are not, horrible. Well, maybe one day I'll be back on the air. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe I'll invite you to my show.
Maybe we'll invite you to our show.
Dude, I will skeet all over this show if you want me to anytime. And everybody listening, in the background, in the head shed, everybody, I love you. I hope you're doing well. Everybody on Facebook, I love you. I hope you're doing well. I hope your family's doing right. I hope you have freedom. I hope you have food on the table. I hope your head's right. I love you with everything I am.
You the man, dude.
Peace. I love you guys.
I miss you, bro.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you, bro.
So everybody, that was Jay Reddy. If you don't know Jay Reddy used to be with the show. He's in our hearts in spirit, and I'm glad that he decided to call in. That was awesome. Thank you, Jay Reddy. So before we sign off, I know we're kind of past time. Yeah, we're past time by 5 minutes, but who cares? We're paying the bills, so we can do what the fuck we want. I wanted to talk about the expended terrorist that happened to meet his demise in Syria. Let me get down. This kind of threw me off my thing here. I'm going to go to this one. So everyone knows this story. ICE talked about it on his show like right after it happened. This is an event that happened in the beginning of February. So we're talking about a week ago. So President Biden declared that this horrible terrorist leader is no more. The dude's name was Abu Ibrahim al-Hamashi al-Qurashi. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, how can I remember to say his name? Like effectively and whatever. So all I'm thinking is sashimi and queso and stuff. So anyway, he was a leader of the Islamic State militant group in Syria that was killed. This operation took a major terrorist leader off the battlefield, and it sent a strong message to the terrorists around the world: we will come after you, and we will find you. And that was said by President Biden. Was it a success? The target is dead, and that's a good thing, right? All in all, 13 people, including children, died during the overnight raid on a safe house in northwestern Syria. Local first responders said that no U.S. casualties were reported in the operation, but U.S. forces did destroy one of their helicopters after it became disabled. I'm going to turn this page here, trying to. Biden said civilian casualties were caused when Karachi detonated a huge explosion that killed all the members of his family. So this fucking piece of shit took himself out and took his entire family out. U.S. Special Operations troops who raided the home of the leader of the Islamic State after he triggered a suicide explosion seized equipment and information that could be helpful in the future counterterrorism operations. Some items taken were cell phones and hard drives. So there was a comment to this story that I thought was extremely interesting. And you can check my work. Please check my work. But the statement, and it still stands, and I checked it before we went on the air, is the ISIS caliphate has yet to acknowledge the death of the ISIS leader. It's been 8 days now since the strike. They haven't acknowledged the strike, or they haven't acknowledged the death of this dude, the queso guy, and they haven't named a new leader. And it was just this is weird because they haven't officially said this guy's dead and here's his replacement. And in my mind, I'm like, this guy's dead, and here's the next target.
I'm reading an image. We lost a helicopter there, right?
The U.S. destroyed a helicopter.
Okay, the way it was read. I was
no,
like,
it wasn't shot down. It was like mechanical difficulties destroyed the helicopter, and then everyone piled in.
Okay, guys.
Anyway.
Could have done that with a drone strike.
Probably. I mean, the dude nuked his entire family.
They might as well have done it with a drone strike at that point.
Could have been. Okay, here's the last story of the night. Snoop Dogg. Snoop yes. has made an investment, and yes. I'm going to do this, and this is crazy. I have notes here. And I've got to play this. I've got to play this.
Oh, okay, I know what you're playing.
Do you?
Maybe.
All right, man. I guess we're going to sign off. So you got any super awesome words? Advice. You got some advice?
My advice for the night is don't do anything stupid.
And if you do have a lawyer, don't do anything stupid. We're like super good at doing stuff stupid.
Yeah.
And all I got to say is like, so just chill to the next episode. Just like fucking Snoop said, dude, you know, he is so good. He is so good. He's smooth and he's good. Anyway, we're out of here. Thank you, Jay Reddy, for hanging out with us, man. You the man.
Yeah.
And we're gonna sign off here and have a great weekend. If you need to download a podcast, just go to WTFNR.com and we got all the links and stuff to download the podcast and stuff. So this is awesome. We out.
Later.
This is WTF Nation Radio.
My friend came to the door. She said, well, I was on the phone cooking me and my baby some breakfast. And she said, hey, something wrong. It's popping. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no. So the girl come downstairs. She come out her apartment with her baby with no shoes on. I said, oh, girl, it's cold outside. She said, something ain't right. I said, oh, man. She said, oh, man, the building is on fire. I said, no, what? I got my 3 kids and we bounced out. We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation.